Welcome to the Life Leadership Podcast with myself, Leila Singh, all things coaching, career, and personal branding. This podcast is for ambitious career professionals like you, wanting to create a life of choice and freedom, to be, do, and have more through overcoming limitations, to develop new perspectives and insights, and to redefine your success, be that in work, health, relationships, and so much more. Hi there, welcome to Live with Leila. My name is Leila Singh and I'm a career, leadership and personal brand coach. My mission is to impact 100,000 people's career trajectory beyond what you thought possible. Why? Because I'm passionate about helping you to realize what is truly possible for you when it comes to your career and to your life. How do I do this? Through helping you to harness your leadership potential. I coach high achieving, ambitious, and driven mid to senior level professionals working in the technology industry for promotion, peak performance, and positioning. In other words, a standout personal brand, all whilst showing up as the best version of yourself, what I call life leadership. So let's kick off straight away because I have a lot of content I want to share with you today. So what is the topic for today? Communication. Now, there's so many aspects to communication. Today, specifically, we're looking at how slowing down can propel your career. Why am I speaking about this? Because in today's environment, everything is fast-paced, everything is with speed. Communication can often feel a little bit like it's a race, and a race to get your message across. And yet, for high achieving, ambitious, driven professionals, people who want to advance in your career, mastering the pace and the speed of communication can significantly impact your career trajectory. What I mean by this is speaking with a gravitas, in other words, a blend of confidence, of calm, of authority. This is essential for developing a powerful presence. And for those of you who follow me regularly, you'll know presence is something that I have talked about a lot in the past. So this is an aspect of that we're looking at today. And what I'm going to be exploring today with you is the importance of being intentional with your speech, intentional and purposeful. Why this aspect of communication is often overlooked, the potential for you of learning to really control your pace of delivery, and of course, some practical strategies to enhance your gravitas by slowing down. So when it comes to communication, why are pace and speed important? Now, again, if you're watching live, do share your thoughts on this, your comments below. I would love to hear more from you. And I'll explain why. Why are pace and speed important when it comes to communication? Because having gravitas in your communication is not just about what you say, it's about how you say it. The pace of your speech can convey confidence and control, or conversely, anxiety and uncertainty. And speaking too quickly can make you appear nervous or less authoritative, which in turn will diminish the impact that you make with your message. Equally, a measured pace coupled with those strategic pauses allows you to command the room. It draws attention to your key points and it projects an image of composure and competence. In other words, the ability to communicate with gravitas can set you apart from your peers. So whether you are leading a team, negotiating deals, or presenting to stakeholders, the way that you deliver your message can influence how it is received and how it is acted upon. I want to look at why many people actually undervalue or overlook the importance of this when it comes to communication, when it comes to this aspect of communicating. Despite the importance that I've just highlighted, the significance of pace and speed in communication is simply not afforded the attention it deserves. And here is why. Perhaps there's pressure to perform. So in high-stake environments, there is often a perceived need to convey information quickly, to get that message across, to demonstrate decisiveness and possibly even competence. Maybe it's cultural norms. In some organization cultures, rapid speech is mistakenly equated with intelligence and enthusiasm. Someone, for example, who's high energy, like myself, I'm typically driven to communicate very quickly, particularly on a one-to-one basis. And I tend to have to then be mindful when I'm showing up, let's say here on camera, speaking to an audience like yourself, as well as in person in a presentation environment. Possibly when while we look at why people might undervalue this, is that people simply lack awareness. The lack of awareness, in other words, of the impact of your speaking pace and what impact that has on your audience. So without the feedback, without the coaching, it's easy to just continue to speak at a pace that can potentially undermine your message. Because remember, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. So what are the possibilities of mastering your pace and your speed when it comes to your communication? Believe me, when you can control this, the transformation can be profound. For example, you will experience enhanced perception of leadership. So speaking with gravitas can enhance how others perceive you, which then positions you in turn as a leader, as an authority, and somebody worth listening to. Secondly, improved understanding. A slower, more deliberate pace ensures your message is clear, it's understood, and it reduces misunderstandings as well as errors. And finally, increased influence. The ability to hold attention and emphasize key points increases your influence and persuasiveness in meetings and in presentations. Wouldn't that be a great place to be when it comes to showing up with that authority, the credibility, and making impact in your environment, in your workplace? So, of course, you were thinking, well, what do I need to do here? How can I make this work for me? How can I start to hone my gravitas through my communication? What are the 3 strategies that I'm going to be sharing with you today to help you to be slowing down? So here we go. Number 1, practice the power of the pause. Why? Because pausing allows your audience to absorb what you have said, and it gives you a moment to collect your thoughts. And by the way, the reason this is important and why people almost shy away from pausing is because many speakers, many people who are delivering presentations believe that if they pause, because they're focusing so much on themselves and being self-critical, they believe that if they pause, people are going to be thinking, oh, they've forgotten what they're going to say. Rather than actually the audience who want to hear your message and what you are sharing are simply absorbing what you've shared while you gather your thoughts. And pause for emphasis, to allow the absorption of that information, but also to kind of set yourself up for your next point that you're going to make. And by having the power of pause brought into your conversation, it projects confidence and it gives more weight to your words. So think about how you can start to bring this into your conversation. And what I'd invite you to do is to practice incorporating pauses into your everyday conversations. Because, by the way, what I'm sharing here today isn't just about public speaking. It's not just about speaking to an audience. It's also relevant in a one-to-one environment, as well as in your meetings and so forth, any interactions that you have, particularly if you are sharing information. So start practicing incorporating pauses into your everyday conversations. Start with brief pauses after key points, and then gradually extend them. And a way to do this is to use your natural breath points when you're breathing as cues to pause. So give it a go, practice, see how you get on. The second strategy that I want to share with you is engaging in mindful speaking exercises. Why? Because mindfulness helps you become more aware of your speaking habits and the impact of your words. How do you do this? How do you implement this? Spend a few minutes each day practicing mindful speaking. So for example, what I mean by that is read aloud slowly, maybe just a paragraph from a book, read it out slowly, but focusing on enunciating each word clearly. And more importantly, what I invite you to do, and I know a lot of you will shy away from this, but I really emphasize this as something that will help you to develop in your communication, is recording yourself and playing it back to identify your areas for improvement. Now, the reason I say a lot of people shy away is because I hear it all of the time. Even when I'm coaching my clients on their public speaking, often when I suggest, right, let's record this so you can watch it back, the reason there's that hesitation or the resistance to doing so is because I often hear people say, well, I don't like the sound of my own voice. I don't like watching myself back. But here's where self-awareness comes in, something that I talk about all of the time. It's having the level of awareness of how you show up, how you come across, how you communicate. And by the way, this is the most impactful way of improving in areas like this, because when you see yourself doing something and you know you're given guidelines that say on the way to, for example, deliver a presentation, when you watch yourself back in your recording, you get to see, oh, I didn't do this or I didn't do that. I know I could have done that better. Oh, is this how I'm coming across? What can I do differently? Maybe I need to slow down. Maybe I need to pause, etc., etc. So recording yourself is so key. And by the way, I ensure wherever possible that I record everything that I do, even when it's speaking in person, so I can go back and review it and self-critique it, and also have others who are trained in public speaking, who are my mentors, to give me feedback as well. So this is a huge thing in helping you to identify your areas for improvement. And also remember, if you're thinking, for example, when we talk about pausing and slowing down, if you think, oh, is this really going to come across well? Will I look natural? Record it, watch yourself back. Think of yourself now as the audience, watching somebody or listening to somebody speaking, and how does it land for you? So engage in mindful speaking exercises and record them is your second strategy. The third one, the final one today, is to solicit feedback and reflect. Why? Because feedback from trusted colleagues or mentors can provide valuable insights into how your communication style is perceived. Because often I have a client who recently said to me, we worked together for over a year, and repeatedly I'd sort of just check in occasionally and say, did you want to do some work around your presentation skills? And he's like, no, I always get great feedback and it's all good. But slow down to that and think, who are you getting that feedback from? Are these people who are really proficient and really impactful when it comes to delivering a presentation? Yes or no? Because remember, we don't know what we don't know. And if we only know so much, we can only be so good. Therefore, you might want to open up your sourcing of your feedback from people who are skilled or trained in this area to get more objective and constructive feedback. So eliciting feedback, think about who you can reach out to ask, even if it's a recording that you've got of, it's so much easier now to have recordings, because a lot of presentations, for example, might be on Zoom or Teams, so you can get it recorded and then you can watch it back yourself. You can have somebody look at it and critique it with you and give you constructive feedback on how to make it even better. Your colleagues, your mentors can provide you with valuable insights in how you're being perceived. And this is really, really important when it comes to how you're showing up and how people perceive you in the workplace. So how do you do this? After key meetings, after presentations, ask for specific feedback on your speaking pace and on your gravitas. How you came across. Did I come across with authority, credible, with a certainty in what I was talking about? Ask yourself all of those questions. And again, every opportunity you have to record yourself, even if it's in a short team meeting where you know you're going to have to speak, ask to get it recorded if you don't have the capacity or ability to record it yourself, so that you can get that recording and take a look at it and have someone go through it with you. Also, remember, when you receive that feedback, thank people for their feedback and set your goals, your actions for gradual improvement. And maybe consider working with a mentor or a coach, as I said, someone who is trained, who is impactful as a speaker, who can provide you with tailored guidance. So quick recap on your strategies. Number one, practice the power of your pause, slow down, use natural breathing points to check in with yourself to just gather your thoughts before you make your next point. Number 2, engage in mindful speaking exercises. So record your stuff, read aloud, for example, and record yourself and play it back to identify areas for improvement. And then thirdly, solicit that feedback and reflect on it and look at a plan for how you can make those improvements, and take every opportunity to record yourself. Here's the thing, mastering the art of pace and speed in communication is incredibly powerful as a tool if you're wanting to enhance your presence and your influence. So by speaking powerfully, purposefully, intentionally, and by leveraging the power of the pause, you can project gravitas and command the respect and the attention that you deserve. Implementing these 3 simple strategies will not only improve your communication skills, but they will also position you well for your career advancement and your personal growth. So, as I said, any questions on any of this, please do pop them in the comments. Any thoughts on what you're going to do next, or feedback in terms of any additional content you'd like me to share around this topic, I'd be happy to take that on and deliver that in one of my future lives. So please do share them in the comments. And until next time, remember to harness your potential, elevate your performance, and strive towards your personal and professional growth by showing up as the best version of yourself. Thank you for listening. Please subscribe to this podcast if you haven't already done so. And if you enjoyed and gained value from today's episode, then do please leave a review telling us your key learnings and what you enjoyed the most. And do please share this podcast with your friends and colleagues so we can spread the word on life leadership, creating a life of choice, freedom, and new possibilities. Connect with me directly on LinkedIn, and if you would like to learn more about how we can work together, either DM me on LinkedIn or email me. All details and resources can be found in the show notes.